Welcome back, everybody. This is Brian Kirk with Eat My Own Beat, taking the road less traveled with an episode of Currency and Maps. This is episode 6, I believe, and we're going to the island nation of Antigua and Barbuda. The island nation shares maritime borders with St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, which is part of the UK, Montserrat, part of the UK, and St. Barthélemy, which is part of France. An area of 44 kilometers squared, and the islands are slightly smaller than Andorra, or about 2.5 times the size of Washington, D.C. The highest elevation on the archipelago is Mount Obama, formerly Boggy Peak, with a 402-meter or 1,319 feet. The hill is located on the island of Antigua, is named after the U.S. President Barack Obama. Antigua boasts the largest expanse of freshwater in the Caribbean. Potworks Dam is man-made lake nearly 2 kilometers long and 1 kilometer wide. The island nation has a population of 89,000 that was estimated in 2016. Most live on Antigua, while Barbuda is sparsely populated. The capital and largest city is St. John's and Antigua. Spoken language is English and Antiguan Creole. Neighboring island states are Montserrat, St. Kitts, and Nevis. Just a little bit of background. Antigua and Barbuda and Redonda form the independent nation of Antigua and Barbuda within the Commonwealth of Nations. They are part of the Leeward Islands in the West Indies. The islands nation, located in the eastern Caribbean Sea, was populated by the Amerindian tribes when Christopher Columbus discovered, quotes, it in 1493. He named the islands Santa Maria de la Antigua. Settlements by the Spanish and French were succeeded by the English, who formed a colony in 1667. They established slavery to run the sugar plantations on Antigua. Antigua and Barbuda became an independent nation in 1981, but is still British in many of its traditions. And we go on to currency. The Antiguan dollar. Antigua and Barbuda are actually made of two separate islands, which operate as one country. Along with many other countries in the Caribbean, they use the Eastern Caribbean dollar as their official currency, which was brought into circulation in 1965 to replace the British West Indies dollar. Even though Queen Anne's proclamation of 1704 brought a gold standard to the West Indies, silver pieces of 8 Spanish dollars and later Mexican dollars continued to form a major portion of the circulating currency right in the latter half of the 19th century. Britain adopted the gold standard in 1821, and an imperial order in council of 1838 resulted in the Antigua formally adopting the sterling currency of 13th of January 1847. However, despite the circulation of British coins in Antigua, the silver pieces of 8 continued to circulate alongside them, and the private sector continued to use dollar accounts and reckoning. The international silver crisis of 1873 signaled the end of the silver dollar era in the West Indies, and the silver dollars were demonetized in Antigua in the wake of the crisis of fear of the silver standard might return. Even though British sterling coins were made of silver, they were fractional coins of the British gold sovereign, and hence they maintained their gold value. This left the state of affairs in which British coinage circulated, being reckoned into dollar accounts of automatic conversion rate of $1 equals 4 shillings and 2 pence. From 1949, with the introduction of the British West Indies dollar, the currency of Antigua became officially tied up with that of the British East Caribbean territories in general. The British sterling coinage was eventually replaced by new decimal coinage in 1955, with the cent being equal to 1/2 of the old penny. The fixed circulation rate of 480 equals 1 sterling, equivalent to 1 old dollar equals 4 silver, 2 decimal. Continued right up to 1976. 3 banks, the Royal Bank of Canada, the Colonial Bank, and Barclays Bank, all issued $5 notes. The Royal Bank of Canada issued notes between 1913 and 1938, whilst the Colonial Banks issued notes in 1926, and Barclays Bank, which took over the Colonial Bank, issued notes between 1937 and 1940. There's some pictures of the current Eastern Caribbean notes, and there's also a map in this image. So until next time, keep eating your own beat, take the road less traveled, and have a great day.